Jason, can you still see me? Can you still hear me?
Yes, bro, I can still hear you, and I can now see your screen as well, so
Okay,
we're good.
beautiful. Guys, so welcome to this session about email marketing. And, actually, I think I want to talk about this here because this is going to be recorded. It's going to be in the course, as you guys know. And this is something that, it's funny. We had, for the product development research webinar, we had about 9 people on. This is the beta group. The beta group was only like 20 people in the total group, so it's not like I'm expecting a huge turnout anyway. But we had about half the people on, and that same thing with the site optimization webinar. We had about half on. But here right now we have a small group, the smallest group ever, and I think it's partly because for some reason email marketing is not sexy. Okay, doesn't sound sexy, but the thing is, it's actually a mistake to take that attitude, and here's why. Okay, where do you make the highest profit margin? Okay, I'm talking about your cost per sales conversion. Jason, you obviously know the answer because you're here, you're the expert. What's the answer?
Yeah, absolutely. It's email marketing. That's where it's as I say, it's where you put money in your back pocket, I believe.
That's right. So you've already got these people on your list, whether you bought them through a mailing contest, as I'm going to show in the course, or you got them through becoming a buyer, or some sort of opt-in form on your site. They're on your list, and this is the cheapest form of marketing. This is where the highest profit margin is. So it's really sometimes surprising to me how unsexy this is for most people in the marketplace. And it's not like if we talk about ads, people will be like lining up to get on a webinar for ads, but they're not lining up to get on a webinar for emails. And I want to point this out right at the beginning, guys. And this is not just for the benefit of the people on live, but people who will be on this course in the future when we launch it, right? Pay attention to this webinar because this is where your highest profitability will come. Okay, so let me first introduce Jason. Jason's from Australia. I got to know him because he approached me a while ago about a technique that we can't really do on Facebook anymore, so I stopped using it. But he implemented it on my store, and it was really powerful. And let's not go into that technique right now because it's not something that I want to encourage people to use because they outlawed it on Facebook now. But anyway, he did a really good job and made me money, and I was really pleased with it. And I discovered when I got to know him more and more, he is an expert in email marketing. He knows all about flows. He operates a email marketing agency. This guy, even though he's young from Australia, is an absolute master in this. And I wanted to bring him in because, especially when it comes to flows, I'm good at email ad copy and broadcast emails. I do that really well. But when it comes to flows, I'm quite actually not that strong. I'm actually going to be hiring Jason to redo my entire flows on my store as well. So to try to up the ante, I make good money with emails now, but I want to put it on steroids, and Jason's the guy to go for this. So that's why I brought in Jason. This is not about ego. My course is about delivering you good quality, and I got other experts coming in on certain topics like SEO and bulk ordering from China and product fulfillment. They're coming in as well. So this is about giving value. Jason, why don't you just go ahead? I'll do my first little presentation first. Why don't you just go ahead and talk a little about yourself, and then I'll do my little part, and then we'll skip to you.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, guys, I've been doing email marketing for probably just over 2 years now, and it's always been specifically focused in e-commerce. So I've never branched out of anything other than e-commerce, and I choose not to because I want to stay in my lane and become #1 in that field. And I feel like the way you do that is to stay in laser focused, right? So I run an agency now. It's called E2 Agency. The E2 stands for e-commerce experts. We're actually a recommended agency on Klaviyo as well, so we are very good at what we do, and we do get a lot of great results. So I do have a lot of insight I can share with you guys and show you exactly what's working for us. But I want to get out there as well. How, like Chris was saying, it's not sexy. It blows my mind too, because this is where you put money in your pocket, but I believe this is the way you can become the most targeted with your list, because every single flow that you do, every single automation can be tweaked and tailored with split tests, so you know exactly what is working, and you can almost optimize it to a point where it's absolutely 100% optimal, and it's responding behaviorally to your target market who's coming in through certain avenues that you know where they're coming from. So if you know where they're coming from, you know, #1, how they've responded instantly. If they came through from a video, you know these people respond via video. If they come through for a blog article, you know these people respond via email /article/wording, right? So it's amazing to me how people don't realize that this is a place where you can zero down on exactly who these customers are and how they respond to your company in marketing, and you can 100% optimize it. So this is going to be really good for you guys, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. But I'll hand it back over to you, Chris.
Beautiful. So what we're going to learn today is first email copy. I'm going to talk about this.
Unmute yourself, Chris.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm unmuted. Hold on here. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me or not? Yes, good. Okay, good. All right, sorry. Okay, I'm unmuted. All right. So I just wasn't sure. All right. So now, guys, as I always do and everything, we briefly do a quick summary of what we're going to learn today. I've been doing this on the videos and on the webinars. So you're going to learn about email copy, which I'm going to cover. I'm quite good at this. This is the thing that I really focused on because I realized how you write your emails would make a big difference in keeping people engaged on your list. I want a subscriber to be on there for a long time, not for a short time. Broadcasting is also something I learned to do really well, and we'll talk about that. Email automated flows is something that I'm not strong in, which is why I brought in Jason for this, and he's going to cover that in great details. Okay, so let's dig into email copying. Right, there's a lot that goes into this. Okay, there's so many techniques, and I took an entire course on this. But you know, it's really funny. You don't necessarily need to take an entire course to become decent at email marketing. If you remember these three, email ad copy or email writing copy. If you remember these three concepts, okay, just these three, you can write good quality emails all day, every day. Now, if you really want to get advanced and take a high-level email writing course, that's a different story, and that's up to you. But if you just remember these three things and you implement these three things, this will work. Okay, so I'm gonna explain them to you, and then I'm gonna show you an example, a live example email. Okay, you want to write your email as if you're talking to one person, even though you know you're broadcasting to whatever 100 people, 1,000 people, 20,000 people, maybe if you have massive 100,000 people. You want to write that email as if you're talking to one person. Why? Because people react better when they feel it's written for them. Okay? You don't want to say, you never want to use the word never. I should write this down. Never use. Never. Sorry. Never use list or subscriber. Anything that makes them feel like a number. Absolutely never use list, subscriber. Use you and then say me or say we. Like, for example, we, right? Talk to them as if you're talking to one person. That's really important, okay? Now, next, you want to tell a story, okay? Don't start off, I mean, the one thing I see all the time, and it's even unbelievable from like big companies, and it's funny, you know, I'm on some big companies' mailing lists, and I'm on other big companies' mailing lists, and some companies get it, some don't. They start off with stories. And they start off with a story saying, you know, talking about something that goes on, right? And then they segue into the offer. Tell the story and then segue into the offer, okay? So, guys, people ask me, well, what kind of story can I do? What kind of story can I do? And guys, anything can be a story. Anything from your life can be a story, okay? And I'm going to show you a live example of that here in a second, right? I'm going to show you a live example, an email I sent out that did very well, okay? But you want to tell a story and then segue, all right? Next, a memorable signature, okay? Something that you use always. Use it over and over again. Use the same signature. Why? Because it builds a relationship, guys. It builds a relationship with your list. With your list, okay? You want them to remember you. Remember you. Okay. Now, guys, we'll go back to this here in a second, but I want to show you a real example, a real email, okay, that I wrote, all right? This is one I sent out just a few weeks ago, and it converted really well. Let me make it bigger here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this to you guys, and I want you to just sit back and listen to this. Okay, the subject was 7.50 pints. Okay, 7.50 pints. That was the subject. Now, what's interesting about that subject? Oh, I should actually include this, guys. Interesting subject. I didn't even include that. D. Interesting subject. Okay, guys, you want a subject that's not bland, something that's unique, something that stands out, something that's different, something that makes it unusual, what intrigues their interest. Okay, people when they see 7.5 pints. I mean, Jason, what do you think? Is that something that might catch their attention? Are you with me, Jason? Okay, Jason maybe he's going to the restroom or something. Who's with me? Who thinks that 7.5 pints is something that's like a little unusual? You're like, what is that? Are you guys hearing me? Are you guys hearing me? I just want to make sure you're hearing me because suddenly I'm not getting any feedback. Yep, good. All right, got it. Yep. Curiosity, that's right. It's curiosity. You want to ask a question or you want to create something with curiosity, okay? Now I start off with, yeah, TGIF, okay? Now I'm in the beer niche, right? So I'm speaking and I'm talking to them as if they're my friend. I'm a fellow beer drinker. I'm not just selling them, I'm talking with a friend. Then look, I go into a story. Where I live in Japan, the typical pint price in a sports bar or an Irish pub is 750 yen, Japanese yen, which is about $7.50 a pint, depending on the exchange rate. That gave me a good idea. Okay, so this is a short story, by the way. Sometimes I do long ones, sometimes I do short ones, okay? The reason I brought this one is because it converted really well. You know, it's a story. It can be long or short, but the point is a story, something that it gets their engagement, hooks them in. Okay, now watch this. I segue into the offer. And how I segue is this word. That gave me an idea. For the next 48 hours, I will give you access to a coupon code to get $7.50 off of one order. This code is good for any product on Last Beer Standing, but can only be used once. The code is Japan Pint. Use it at checkout. Go here for all of our products. Okay, before I get a signature, you guys see that? Let's look at that. An intriguing subject, a short story. I'm talking to them as if they're one person, they're my friend, and then I segue into the offer. Who thinks that's pretty cool? Who thinks that would get people's attention and interested in maybe in this whole offer, right? It's awesome, right? It's not just, hey, go buy my shit, right? That doesn't work. That just doesn't work. Well, they won't say subscribe for a long time. If you get a good offer, cheap offer, they might buy once, they might buy twice. But eventually they're going to get bored with it, they're going to unsubscribe. And here's how I end all my emails. Okay? Cheers. This is my signature. Always the same. Chris, American beer lover living in Japan. Okay. So this is who's going to, you think you're going to remember this signature? Are you going to forget this? I mean, every single one of our emails says Chris, American beer lover living in Japan. It builds a relationship. It makes an association that says, this guy, his name is Chris. He loves beer, and he lives in Japan. He's an American. This is the kind of thing you want to do, guys. Now, a lot of people don't want to put themselves out there, and I understand that. If you don't want to put yourself out there, make up a persona, right? A fake persona, that's fine, right? But use the persona all the time, okay? It builds a relationship. So that is how you write. I mean, it's actually this formula. I love this, right? Now, it can get more complicated, as I said. You can get more complicated than this. But if you just remember this formula, write emails as if you're talking to the person, one person. Tell stories, have a memorable signature, and use an interesting subject. If you just follow these 4 simple steps, you can write good emails. Actually, anyone can do this. The hardest part is coming up with the story, okay? But the thing is this, just think about things from your life. If you go shopping today and you ended up buying, for example, I went to IKEA yesterday, right? And at IKEA, here's an example, okay? I'm at IKEA, okay? I was at IKEA yesterday, And I was looking, we're going to go there to go shopping for some furniture. And we went in the dining hall. And then the dining hall, I couldn't believe it. I thought IKEA beer. I was like, IKEA makes their own beer? In fact, I'm going to make an email of that this week for my list. It's a perfect story for my list, right? Now, whether you're in a niche that applies to you or not, or just directly related to your life or not, you can still use stuff in your life and sort of tweak them and change them to stories. Everything around you can be a story. Okay, so that's that. Before I move on to the next subject, which is broadcasting, I want to make sure that's clear, because that may be simple, but that's powerful stuff, guys. It really is powerful. Any questions about that? Jason, are you still with me, buddy? Jason just lost his internet. That's why he's not responding. Well, let me respond to him. Welcome to live webinars. Okay, so Jason lost his internet. All right, that might be an issue. If that's the case, we'll have to break this into a separate webinar where we go over flows. So Samir asked you a question. Should I use HTML instead of products within the email? Okay. That is actually a technique that some people are using, and I can see how that can converge. I personally don't like that. Here's why. One, I think it creates the more HTML and fancy stuff you have in your email, the better chance you're going to hit the spam folder, and you're not going to hit the inbox. Okay? I prefer text. I think it's better because it's like coming from a friend. Now, if you want to test out, testing an email from, an HTML email with products within it, absolutely you can test that out. If it's working for your list and your niche, that's beautiful and that's fine. But I prefer the text, pure text style. Write the emails if I'm talking to a friend. We use no banners, no nothing. We have plenty of banners on our sales confirmation pages. We have banners on the order confirmation page and all the other stuff. But I'm talking about the basic flow emails and broadcast emails. Yeah, we send emails as if it's any reason. I noticed you do not mask your emails, but you send it from a full naked URL with URL tabs. Any reason we want to build our brand. We're just using the natural links, right? We're just building our brand. I don't believe in masking links. It looks suspicious to the potential customer, and it doesn't build your brand. We use our real full links because we want to build our brand. We want our name out there, and we want to build trust. These are good questions by Samir. He's talking about masking links, like using Bitly or Google. So I'll continue on with the broadcasting portion, and hopefully Jason can get back on. If not, we will somehow do a part B, and maybe we'll do the part B tomorrow and just do flows. But let's go ahead and continue on right now with broadcast emails. Okay? All right, now, next, broadcast. Okay. Now, broadcasting is a great way to make money. Okay, what is a broadcast? Let me go ahead and put this down here. Okay, broadcast is when you line up and you queue up an email, right, to your list, okay, and you broadcast it out. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind when you run a broadcast, you're also going to be having email flows, and Jason's going to show you how to set them up properly, okay? So you don't want to overwhelm your list, right? You already have order confirmation emails going out. You're going to have automated flows going out, and then you're going to have the occasional broadcast. So I would say a good pace to broadcast would be 2 to 3 times a month. 2 to 3 times a month. And usually I do 2 emails per promotion. And 2 emails per promotion. Now, maybe you want to do this a little bit more during, for example, Black Friday or something like that. You want to do a little bit more. But the point is, you don't want to overwhelm your list with broadcasting. You don't want to be broadcasting them daily because you already will have automated flows going out if you set it up the way Jason's going to show you. So you've got emails going out to them anyway, okay? You don't want to overwhelm them with broadcast emails, but broadcast emails can be powerful, okay? Throwing in 1 or 2, 2 to 3 promotions a month, limited time promotions. I always do 48 hours. Now, you could do 72, you could do 24, but I usually do 48 hours, okay? You want to do limited time promotions, okay? The whole point is to create a sense of urgency. If you don't have the time limit, there'll be no urgency, okay? So you want to do 2 to 3 broadcast promotions a month because you got the flows going and a limited time, okay? Now, what kind of offers can you make? Well, you could do 15% off your entire store. This is just one example. You could do 10%, you could do 20%, you could do free shipping. You could do discounts on product types. For example, right now, I'm showing you an example from my list. Doormats. Surprisingly enough, I can't believe it either. Doormats actually was a suggestion from my customers, numerous customers. I said and tried it out, and they're converting really well. Okay, so I'm selling a lot of doormats. I never thought doormats for the beer industry would be hot, but I listened to my customers. They said doormats. They wanted them. I mean, I got like 20 requests for doormats. I said, okay, let's try it, and they're selling like crazy. Okay, so doormats, right? So I could say, okay, I'm going to promote doormats this week. Free shipping on all doormats. Or I could promote shoes. So you want to mix and match offers, right? 50% off your entire store. Free shipping on the entire store, discount on product types. One thing that really works well for me, guys, is new offers. When I have a new hot product that's selling well, it's been selling for about a week and selling well, I will email my list solely about that product only. Because I know for a fact this is a hot one. This is really killing it. Then I email just that one product offer. I say, get $5 off this one-off product, and here's the code. Or I go and I mark the thing down on the website, and I mark it down, but I email one product. It's a great. I find this to be awesome, especially if it's a good offer, right? One product discount is great. It really converts well when you have a good product. Last, seasonal holidays. St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving Day. For me, Christmas. Any sort of holiday. It's a great. We mailed out for St. Patrick's. We had one hot selling shirt. In this case, actually, I combined both the hot offers and the St. Patrick's Day. We launched about 3 test shirts for St. Patrick's Day, and we found that one shirt was really, really converting. I mean, so much better than the other 2. It was not even, the comparison was not even funny. So I said, you know what, instead of mailing my list all these different shirt options, I'm just going to mail out the one for St. Patrick's Day that's hot. So I did a 2-day mailing for St. Patrick's Day on the one shirt that was working, and we just killed it. I mean, literally 100 sales just from my mailing list, okay? It was awesome, all right? So, guys, that's a combination of combining hot offer and seasonal offer. Okay, that is basically it for broadcasting. That's the basics of broadcasting. Let's see if we can get Jason back here and on. Okay, email guy. I'm going to try to move him back over. Make organizer. Jason, are you back, my buddy, my friend? Jason, are you there?
No.
Beautiful.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Australian internet. It's just so volatile.
I was getting worried that we'd have to break up to a second part maybe tomorrow and do your broadcasting, your flows.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
So
that is it for my email copy and broadcasting segment. Again, you don't want to overwhelm your list with broadcast because you're also going to be doing the flows by Jason, but you want to have some go out as I just discussed. Any questions about that, and then we'll turn it over to Jason and let him run the rest of the show. Samir asked a good question. Do you choose when to broadcast and flows? Okay, for flows, I'm going to let Jason talk about that, but for broadcasting, yes, I have days in mind. I know specifically, because I've been in my niche for a while, which days are the best converting days, and then as far as sales. So I broadcast on those days. I want to add flame to the fire. I know the 2 days that convert the best for me as far as sales, and it's been consistent for a long time. So I mail the 2 broadcasts a month I do. I mail on. So I do. No, again, I do both in 40-hour segments. So 2 emails. I'll do 2 emails. So one on one day and one the next day. But I'll do 2 of them a month, and I will focus on those hot days. A lot of people say email when your sales are down, but that's actually totally wrong, because they're down because they're not interested in buying. They're distracted with their stuff. You know your niche. Mail on the days that you're getting sales, and then pour gasoline on it, right? Because you can create thousands of dollars in profit on 1 day or 2 days. And yes, you're gonna have down days, but why not maximize your profit on the best days? So that I think you should maximize your profit on the best days. That's my strategy.
Chris, can I step in with that one as well?
Yep.
I think something good is, and enough people don't do this, is it's read the data. Like, test different days, find out what works for your niche. And another good question to ask yourself is, when you're sending at the times, this is where you've got to know your target market really well, because the most amount of sales I often made within the first hour, and emails are often opened within the first 4 hours. Yeah, you'll get some people opening them maybe next week or something like that, but the main amount of emails are done and opened within the first 4 hours, and I think the most amount of sales are done within the first hour. So you've got to ask yourself a question. Okay, so my target market, where are they within the time that I send it and then the next 4 hours? And then kind of optimize from there. So like you, Chris, you know exactly what's going on, like you know what times to send and things like that. But for those that don't know yet, try and get in your target market's mind, and then try and think, where are they going to be within the next 4 hours? Are they going to be sitting down at dinner? Are they going to be tucking their child into bed? Are they going to be at work? Are they going to be at the gym? Where are they going to be? And are they able to buy within the next 4 hours? If not, don't send it then, but definitely be split testing and optimizing, and always looking at the data. You still there, Chris?
Sorry, yep, I'm going to switch over, guys. I'm going to switch to our buddy Jason, and he's the man now. I'll make you presenter.
All right, cool.
Okay. We got your screen now. Beautiful. So, Jason, take it away. I'm going to mute myself. Jason, guys, Jason's got a bit different style than me. I like to do a little talking and ask if you got questions, do a little talking, ask if you got questions. He doesn't prefer that. He wants to do his whole presentation because he finds there's a lot of overlap in content. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is sit back, write down your questions, hold them all till he's finished, including me, and then we'll ask him then. Is that cool? Cheers. All right, so you're on. Go.
All right, can you see me, Chris? You can see the screen?
Yeah, we can see you. I can see you. Can you guys see him?
Awesome.
Yeah, you can see it.
I'll dive straight into it then, because I reckon if you can see it, I think they can see it. All right, cool, guys. All right, thanks for tuning in. Like we say, email marketing doesn't seem sexy, but I promise you this is where you can optimize to your target market, and this is where you can put the money in your back pocket, because there's less ad spend. Well, there's almost zero ad spend. And it's just really where you can maximize your profits. So please get excited for this, because these automated flows are what you can optimize and eventually be running at 100%, just cranking out the specific message at the right time to the right type of people, and it can make you a lot of money whilst you're sleeping. So let's get into it. I'm an e-commerce email marketing specialist. As I've said before, I run an agency called the E2 Agency. We're a preferred agency on Klaviyo, so we know what we're doing. So I'm sure you're going to get a lot from this. So, if it'll move. So why email marketing? I'm going to go through a little bit of my spiel. So 50% of e-commerce revenue came from email marketing in 2015. That's from Smart Marketer. Email marketing yields an average 4,300% return on investment for businesses in the United States, and that's from the Direct Marketing Association. 66% of consumers have made a purchase online as a direct result of an email marketing message. So we know it's powerful, we know it's working. So a bit of some of my results, is just a couple. As you can see there, an extra 21%, and I do still use the method that Chris prefers not to use, because I've actually not had any issues with it, and I do it in a very tasteful way, and I've been told that the way that I do it is fine. So I think the way that Facebook are trying to block it, Chris, is the spammy ones that pop up within the first 5 seconds, or the ones that are intrusive on your desktop. So I don't do desktop exit, but what I do is mobile, and I do it very tastefully at the end of a the journey of a customer. But that's not what Chris wants to teach, but it gets a lot of my revenue there. As you can see, campaigns have done like 21K, flows have done around 30, so it makes a lot of extra money. And as I say, if we had the pop-up in there, that'd probably up around 30. So another one here, an extra 15% in total. So as you can see, it works, it makes money, and most of this here, guys, is profit. All right, guys, this is money straight back in your pocket. There's not that much ad spend, or it's either maximizing traffic, but it's really good. So that's a couple of my results. What I want to get into is number one, the first abandoned cart. And this is what I like to believe to be the, one of the most perfect abandoned cart sequences, because it's quite aggressive, but it's not too aggressive because we give them a bit of time. And the first one, is a very easy kind of like laid back approach. So I want you to always send your abandoned carts as soon as possible, as the most purchases, as I told you, is within the first hour, and it drops dramatically after that. So try offering a discount or no discount. Try a bit of a split test on it, but generally you want to be encouraging no discount, because you don't want to train, and this is one of the first times, if anybody's going to respond to your email marketing in your list, this is the first time they're going to respond, and you have to understand that every time you are doing something, interacting with a customer, you are training them to behave in a certain way. So if you're offering a discount, instantly you're training them to understand that if they don't purchase from you right away, you're going to come back and offer them a discount pretty much instantly, and they can get it cheaper from you. And you do not want to build a list of people that are just there for a discount. You want to build a list of raving fans about you, your product, and your brand. So try and avoid the always offering a discount, because I really believe it devalues your brand and puts you in a very inferior position in the consumer's mind. So that one there, I would do immediately send, or within the first half an hour, and then I do 4 hours after, 12 hours after, and then the 4 days at 6:45 p.m. and 6:45 p.m. on 6 days is just a time we know our customers aren't busy, and these ones actually make quite a lot of money. It's probably, the first email is like, the first one makes about 80%, and then these two make around 20% as well. So these are just fillers, we're just trying to get them. It does get some people, it doesn't, but that's fine, because we're always getting those touch points and reaching back out to them. And the next one is a customer win back. Now, there's plenty of customers on your list that need to be reminded you still exist, and you still have a great product that is valuable to them. You need to create a customer win back series and entice these people to come back. It's a great way to make some money without advertising, right? Because these guys are on your list already. They're on your flows, and you can target these people that, and as it says here, you can create a filter that says they've placed an order before, but they've placed an order 0 times. It's including somebody that hasn't ordered since they've created an order, and then it's in the next 65 days. So they've ordered once and they've not ordered again. So if you create one within the next 65 days, because you're going to have your flows, your upsells and all these types of things in between. But if you have it at 65 days and then have some nice little, some curiosity clicks, some real good bribery in there, just to get them to open back up and come back and purchase from you. I mean, our second email is something cheeky, like the subject line is it alligators? So, and then we're just like, hey, first name. So, hey, Chris, we wondered why you haven't been back. Is it alligators? And if so, our condolences. And then, but if not, like, we're curious, what is it and why aren't you back here? We've got a special offer on right now. This is a hot product, so put your hottest product in there, or put it relevant to the way that a customer's purchased. And you can do that inside of these flows, guys, using Klaviyo. You can actually target somebody on a specific flow. You could create duplicate flows here, and you could target people that have only purchased like men's shoes, right? And then this email could go out, and what could be an offer could be something else that is relevant to a male. So please get very targeted and very behavioral specific, and don't just send a general one, because in these flows you are able to create extremely targeted and behavioral dynamic flows that will target a customer on the specific part of their journey, and do not let that not be a thing. So these are just general, ideas. This is just a very master. I have a master template that I copy over to one of my others, so these are very basic, but the idea is there, right, guys? And I'm sure you could get something out of it. So I send, within the first 65 days, I send it like maybe 6, 7, 5 days apart, and then a few days of a little bit of urgency, a little bit of scarcity, hey, you're going to miss out on this sale, blah, blah, blah. And it's a win back. And these make a lot of money, guys. They don't kick in for a long time, so understand your marketing efforts here aren't going to be optimized for at least 2 to 3 months. But when they start to kick in and they start to work, you can start making some money, you can start optimizing it, and then one day that's just going to be running automatically and maximizing that customers and maximizing that list. So it's going to be phenomenal. And then again, 10 days later, I start another flow where it's, hey, we haven't seen you in a while, And then these get a little bit more, I guess, to say desperate, because these customers are not purchasing from you. And then we move on to something, what we call a new customer thank you. So these are in no specific order. But what I want you to understand is a new customer welcome email is basically just, hey, here's who we are, is expected from your customer. I've actually managed to make a lot of money from it. I mean, a few customers of mine, I've made like $4,000 to $5,000 a month extra just from this email sequence. And like there's no marketing cost, right? It's just extra cash flow. And it's pretty cool as well, because they've just purchased and we're still getting them to come back and purchase again. So that's pretty dope too. The way that we frame it though is the second email is pretty much, it's offering to buy their friend something or their family. And then the next one is like, hey, we're family, here's a discount for you. So we try and frame it as in like, hey, don't come back and purchase for yourself. Like, hey, come back and purchase for a friend or family. Hey, whose birthday is it? You know, whose anniversary is coming up? Like, why don't you buy them something, right? So we put that in there. And then it also is a great way to, and as I said before, guys, is to train your subscriber base to open your emails and purchase from you. The way that we do this is we tell people, hey, don't forget to whitelist us. Drag our emails whenever you see it in promo, drag it into the main inbox or put it into an actual folder named by our company or the person that sent the email. And like always whitelist us. Like we want them to be whitelisters, and the moment they whitelist us, we're going to hit their inbox every single time. So number one, we're training them. Number two, we actually go back and in the second email, I tell a story of the company. So the first email is all about, hey, this is what you're going to get from us. Expect this amount of emails in this amount of time, and also understand that this is what we need from you, because if you want to get all this great value from us, you know, all this content that we're going to be sending to you, all these specials, all these promos, all these products before release, like you're going to get their first access. But to do that, understand you need to do this for us. And then we have a cheeky little PS at the bottom that says, hey, tomorrow we're going to send you a special discount for a friend, you know, look out for that email. And then the next day we're like, hey, we're keeping us promise, and we send them that email. But before we give them the discount for the friend, which we want them to purchase, right? And it is a discount this time because they've already purchased from us. So we want them to purchase now, and we want to offer them and entice them to purchase from a friend. What we say is, hey, but first of all, before we give you a discount, let me tell you a little bit about us. So this is our opportunity to have the customer fall in love with the brand, right? And it's so important for the customer to fall in love with the brand, because that is what is going to get them opening your emails, and they're going to be excited. They're going to be like, you know, they're going to feel a relationship with you guys. And email marketing at its rawest form is building a relationship with customers, okay? You are always, and please never forget that, you are never out there to make money from them. You're out there to make a relationship with them that is mutually beneficial. It's going to benefit you in your pocket. It's going to benefit them because they're going to have a relationship with a phenomenal brand that's providing relevant products to them that is great. And then the last email is just a reminder of the first email, but with that other discount for themselves now. We're enticing them to buy. And what I want to push is on 4 and 5, like day 4 and 5, this is when you know that your product is going to take 5 to 7 days. This is when you take the opportunity to get them frothing at the mouth of your product, right? So you've got this amazing product that is on their way. Tell them why it's amazing. Tell them and remind them why they bought it, because there's something that's called buyer's remorse. Once they paid for something but have not got it yet in their pocket or on them or on their feet or on their wrist, whatever it is, there's something called buyer's remorse, and they kind of regret a little bit spending money. Not always, but sometimes. And this is your opportunity to remind them of why they purchased in the first place and get them excited again before that buyer's remorse kicks in. Day 5, which is benefit 2, again, another one, just, hey, this is why you should be excited. By the way, your product's right around the corner. You should expect to see it any moment now. Just reach out to them. Even if it's an educational product, do they need to know how to use this product? Reaching out and simply just educating them how to use a product is a phenomenal way to build a relationship, and it's a phenomenal way to put your brand above any other brand. Please always do what another brand would not do. And I talked about this in a video. I run a business called Hustle Mode, and we just do YouTube videos. And I literally just talked about this, called a branding experience. I talked about going above and beyond and doing exactly what your competition will not do for your customer. And that is how you get above. And even in email marketing, it's the exact same thing, but just look at this right here. That is automated. Once you do it, it takes minimal effort to optimize, and it's going to send every single time, no matter what. So please utilize it. And then on the 10th day, because I know it takes 5 to 7 days to get to a customer, depending on where they are, maybe 2 to 3 days, depending on where they are, but usually 5 to 7 days at the max, right? Ask for a customer review, because social proof is going to be one of your most powerful strategies in selling anything ever. I promise you, social proof and third-party influencing, which is an influencer saying, hey, look, buy this, but it's kind of a form of social proof, will always be one of your highest selling things. And you can even put that in emails. So like what Chris was telling you about, even in an abandoned cart, I actually split tested a customer review or two, and it won. So like in the abandoned cart, it's like, hey guys, look, I know that you accidentally missed out on this. Like maybe something went wrong. Look, how can we help? Oh, by the way, this is what so-and-so is saying about the product, right? And here is another one where in the abandoned cart, I'm just gonna go back to it real quick, you can actually target specifically based on the product that they purchased and make that abandoned cart sequence speak so clearly to that customer's needs and that customer's pain points, that customer's joys, that customer's aspirations, because I promise you they purchased for a specific reason, and you need to reach out to them with that and utilize that social proofing that you already have built up, or don't, but you will after this customer service, customer review email goes out, you'll start to build some up. But you'll have that opportunity. And what I want to stress as well, guys, is don't just use that 5-star review on my website. Encourage them to post it on Instagram. Offer them $100 reward for everybody a month. Hey, look, we're going to pick a winner for the month. If you just simply, post a picture up and give us a little review, even do a video, we're going to pick out one of these guys who tags our company. We're going to like pick out one and give $100 to you, and you go spend it on the store for nothing. That is one of the most rawest forms of, number one, people are going to see you, they're friends, because understand that the customer that you're reaching out to right now, and this is why Facebook does, that kind of lookalike audience, is because your customers' friends are very much like them, because understand people make friends with people who are much like them. If they're nothing like them, they dislike them. It's just human behavior. So your customer has friends that are just like them, and their friends, that customer is a person you want. They're your dream client. They purchase from you. So now you need to reach out to them and say, hey, look, we want your friends to see what you've purchased from us, because they're much like you and they're probably going to purchase from us. And then you can use that testimonial if it's from Instagram, from Facebook. It is so much more real than a website review, because social proofing is so much better, right, from Facebook or Instagram. And you just take a screenshot of it, drag it, and throw it in an email. It looks beautiful, it looks real, it looks raw, and it's a powerful tool. So let's move on to... So this is what I like to use. I use pop-ups. They make me a lot of money. I've used it in a tasteful way. I've not had a single, I'm sorry, Chris, I've not still yet not have had a single customer, and I've had clients doing over $1 million a month and getting millions of traffic. I've still not managed to have anyone have a problem with these pop-ups, because again, I do them at a very tasteful time. But if you're going to do anything in regards to an offer, which this could be lead generation, right? And lead generation could be if you was to do a Facebook ad that's asking for an email, say, hey, we're going to give you this free report or this free, let's say, for example, somebody's selling a watch. What if you just do an ebook or something a little bit more sexy, but like kind of like an ebook that was just like, hey, get this ebook on the top 5 styles this year on watches, and like, they're your target market, they've downloaded it, right? They've signed up. You need to understand the pre-frame of a lead generation. Understand that when you offer them something, if it's free shipping, if it's a chance to win something, if it's an ebook, if it's a discount, understand there's a pre-frame behind that offer, and ensure that that pre-frame will allow you to now target them with an email marketing sequence that's relevant to that offer that you gave them, but also is available to make them make a purchase, because you aren't there to tickle them. You aren't there to fancy them, because they are not yet customers. And until they are customers, you want to push for a sale. When they're customers, you want to wow them with content and relationship building. And you want a relationship build, definitely, but always be pushing for that sale. Always be pushing for a sale. So the pre-frame is so important that you can then be congruent with the email sequence you send out, and making you a lot more money, because the pre-frame was, hey, purchase. Hey, here's a chance to win something. I love the chance to win something, but I feel like people that are like, here's a chance to win something, they're going to go, hey, buy something from us. Like, nah, we good, fam. I'm waiting to win something first. And if I don't win something, maybe I'm going to be distasteful now because I didn't win. Or, maybe I'll purchase for you after. But who knows? And that's a long, drawn-out plan. I like 10% discount. I won't lie. I use a little pop-up that says you've unlocked a 10% discount, and we time it at, we go on Google Analytics, we go through every single page, we put a pop-up on each specific page, and then we target them by mobile only, or depends what they're using, mobile or iPad, whatever. What's it called? Notepad or whatever the fuck it is. Sorry, it's fine. And then we actually find the average exit time of that customer leaving the entire URL. So we place it around a couple of seconds before then, so we know in a customer's behavior or a customer's journey, they've actually come to the end of the journey with us, and that nothing has enticed them to purchase yet, so they're about to leave. But then we're like, hey, before you leave, they're like, okay, cool, this is tasteful because I was actually just about to leave. I got bored. Before you leave, here's something to keep you here, or here's something to get you to come back. We get them on our list, we bring them back, and this email sequence makes a lot of money. So whether or not Chris wants to teach that, I have to get it out there. I feel like it's my duty to get it out there that it makes a lot of money. It does really well if you do it in the right way. But please, 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 if you're going to do pop-ups and go against what Chris wants you to do, I prefer you not to. But if you're going to do it, please don't do it within 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Do it on the customer's journey. Chris, was there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I think this, because no, I wasn't going to jump in, but I want to talk about this. Guys, I used pop-ups in the summer last year with Jason, and they converted very well. And it was going well, and about October I took it off. The reason why I took it off was not because of what Jason was doing was wrong. In fact, it was working like gangbusters. But the issue is this. Facebook made a change to the terms of service, and technically, according to the terms of service, even exit intent pop-ups are now against the rules. Before, pop-ups, pure pop-ups, when the window closed and you pop up, that was clearly against the rules from the beginning, but then they got rid of exit intent pop-ups. Now, to be honest with you, I've been sitting back and watching, decide whether I want to re-implement it or not. Even though they made the rule, like a lot of things on Facebook, Facebook has two types of rules. They have the rules that they strictly enforce, and they have rules that they put up just to protect themselves legally or for whatever reason they want because they're getting complaints or whatever, but they don't really enforce them with any vigor whatsoever. So far, I haven't seen them enforce this at all. So if you want to use this method, do it at your own risk. I'm debating whether to put it back in my store or not. My biggest concern is I'm trying to build a long-term brand on Facebook, and so I'm a little bit concerned about following the rules to the T. I follow the rules very strictly. Now,
Absolutely.
Again, they're not enforcing this. It does work, and it's making a lot of people a lot of money, and it worked for me when I had it. So you got to make that decision for yourself. I just wanted to present the both sides of the coin.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. It's definitely at your own risk, but I have done extensive research into it, and I cannot, for the life of me, I've asked every pop-up company that runs it. I'm like, hey, what do you think to the new policy? And they're like, look, we haven't heard about it. I've asked Klaviyo. Klaviyo's not heard of it. I've asked ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign has not heard of it. So nobody has heard of these pop-ups being like, I've heard of it through the pipeline and like through the, what's a grapevine, whatever the hell they call it. But I've not managed to see it enforced. I heard of one person have it enforced, but it was only because they was using a desktop exit intent, and I removed them from every single one of my profiles because I don't like them, because sometimes you can accidentally come off the screen and it does it anyway, and it's just super annoying. But what I like about the way that I do it is, as I say, it's timed at the time that a person is about to leave the website. So if anything, it's done tastefully, and I've not had a problem yet, but definitely be aware that those rules exist, and it's at your own discretion, basically. But then again, it does really well as well, and I've seen massive multi-million-dollar brands using it. So it's a bit of a, as you say, it's a two-sided coin. So it's up to you guys. The next one I'm going to move on to is a re-engage sequence. Now, this is going to be extremely important for a lot of people who have not done much email marketing, because your customers, I promise, will not be as responsive to you. They may have even forgot who you are, because it's sometimes you get a list, and I know a lot of people, like I run an agency, and I get a lot of people, even million-dollar brands, who are like, yeah, we email like once every month, and I'm like, guys, they forgot who you are. Like, do you know how many emails somebody gets a day? It's like 130 emails a day. Like, do you think 130 emails a day over the next 5 days, then you email randomly, they're going to be like, wait, who the heck are you again? Like, I kind of remember you, but I kind of don't. So you're going to be reaching out quite frequently, I believe. I go for the rule of around 4 times per week. I do 2 promos, one being what's new or what's hot, depending if the product has been released. And then another one is just a straight up just a promotion, but it's not a discounted promotion. It's just a hey, you know, this product's cool, or hey, we think you'd like this, and we target it specifically on certain segments of the list. I'm going to show you that very shortly. So we're not actually sending out to your entire list every single week. We're sending to certain segments. And then what I also do is I do 2 times content. I have a content writer who designs 2 pieces that's relevant to my target market. And say if the pug lovers, right, would just send like how to train your dog or how to do this or how to do that. It would just be like a small blog piece that we send out in an email because it continues to build that relationship. But if you've not been doing that yet, this re-engage sequence is going to be really important. So you need to be reaching out to them pretty much at the end of their journey. Have they not opened your emails in at least 60 days? You need to now send them what we call a re-engage sequence. So it's just creating so much curiosity that they open. It can even be direct and be like, hey, do you not want to hear from us anymore because you've not been opening in a long time? And then when they open it, they need to make a decision. Are you going to bribe them to stay? And like, this is okay, use a discount as much as you want. Use a fucking 50% discount if you want, because the goal here is to get them back on your list, opening your emails, and purchasing from you in a brand. You can see these people have purchased from you, but they're not yet, they're not engaged. So we want to re-engage them. So do whatever you can to re-engage them. Or have them make the decision to unsubscribe. And guys, please understand, it is not a bad thing if people unsubscribe. Everybody has this fascination of having a list of 100 and 200,000 and a million lists. Please understand that if you have a list that big, it's costing you a bloody fortune in autoresponders, and it is not profitable because 80% of these people aren't opening, 90% of these people aren't opening, 95% of these people aren't opening. You need to be narrowing down and only sending emails to the people that open it. And let me dive a little bit deeper into what we consider deliverability. And I didn't do a slide on this, I should have, but I'll do it very quickly and verbally. Understand your email IP has a reputation. And if you're sending out to a list and it's not opening often, or number one, it's going in promotions, right? And people aren't opening it now, it's getting low opens. So low opens immediately triggers the robots or whatever to go through and have a look at your emails. And if you're getting low opens, or you're sending junk mail that's like to people that don't want to open, eventually those robots tag you as a spammer, and eventually you'll start hitting more and more and more and more spam, and your IP on your email address will be ruined and your reputation will be ruined. So you need to find these people that are not opening, and if they don't want to open, get rid of them, because they are ruining your list, they are ruining your name, they're ruining your reputation and your IP address, and you are going to make less money in your promotions, because when you're sending out promos, it's hitting less people because of these. So please don't have that fascination of having a huge list. Please have a fascination with having a huge engaged list. It doesn't matter if your list is of 5,000 people and 5,000 people open and buy from you. You're going to make way more than somebody who has 100,000 people that are only like 50,000 people are opening and maybe 2,000 people are buying. The maths is engaged over unengaged. All right, guys? Always keep engaged people, and if they're not engaging, at the end of this sequence, you will unsubscribe them if they've not unsubscribed themselves. If they've not opened any of these emails and they've not made a decision, I unsubscribe them. I'm like, these guys clearly don't want to hear from me. I've done everything I can. They're gone. Next one is a VIP. Please, please, please find your most valuable customers and treat them with love. These are guys that have maybe spent over $200 on your store. Maybe they've come back 4 or 6 times. You can target that with Klaviyo. But please treat them with love. It's easy to set up a sequence that recognizes these kind of people and gives them love automatically. So don't forget about them. It's really important, guys, because if you treat these people like VIP, they're going to feel like VIP. And if they feel loved, they're going to feel a relationship with you, because loving somebody is a relationship. I promise you. And if you give these guys love, they will continue to come back to you guys, and they will become what I like to call a brand evangelist, and they will tell more and more people about you because you're showing them that love. It's like going to a coffee store, right? Have you ever been to a coffee store like 6 times in a row, and then boom, someone says, hey Jace, good to have you back, what are you having today? Or hey Jace, small latte and 1 sugar? I'm like, damn, like these guys are giving me love, because like I'm coming back, and I'm now going to come back forever, and I'm going to bring my friends there, I'm going to bring my family there, right? I'm going to do anything and everything I can, because these people treat me like a VIP. They're saying me by my name. They're giving me, you know, my order. Like they know my order because they know who I am. It's a little bit different in email, but like you know exactly what I'm talking about. Treat these people like VIPs, and they will be your brand evangelists, I promise. Now, there's upsells. These are really important to do. So if you've got product X, you can upsell into product Y. which basically, I don't know if you had a watch and a wristband, maybe you'd sell them the watch, and then like 10 to 14 days later, you upsell them to a wristband. And the maths goes something like after someone ordered a product, only includes someone if, so after someone's ordered, so they've ordered a product, they've purchased from you, only include them in this flow if at least once they have purchased this product X, so the watch, and has ordered the product wristband 0 times. So we know we're not offering this to somebody who has purchased before. We're offering it to someone who has, like, they purchased before from us, but they haven't purchased a specific product we're trying to sell them. So it's a very, very uniquely targeted upsell that is great. All right, guys, this makes a lot of money because it's so important, right? And it can be done automatic. Again, you start with no discount, then offer the discount ladder, right? And towards the end, it gets some scarcity and urgency. And then you can simply just flip it, guys. You know, what if they ordered the wristband but didn't buy the watch? Bang, do the exact same process, just backwards. Start offering them a discount, blah, 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 and do that type of thing. But it's amazing how much you can get knowledge from that. You know, hundreds and thousands of people can line up in that sequence. And you can take all that data, you can start split testing headlines and colors of your buttons and getting all this knowledge and optimizing it to a point where eventually this is like getting the highest opens because you know your customer market, they're all responding to this certain headline. Okay, cool. So this type of copy, okay, so that's there forever now. We've changed it up around a few times. We've learned what works best. Okay, what call to action on the button? You know, what type of image is working best? What type of this? And once you've like split tested all those types of things and you've got an email sequence that is winning, well then, guys, you can leave that on whilst you sleep and make money. And this is pure profit, guys. There's no advertising cost here. You don't have to advertise them. This is pure profit. And it's going to make you a lot of money once you nail it. So, bonus flows. And I'm going to talk about these. These are very difficult to do. It takes a little bit of coding. So I'm going to actually create a second and third bonus video that Chris will drop in below these. And it will teach you these types of things. So a men versus women flow, this is just an example. It could be men versus women. It could be, let's just think of something stupid, yoga versus like Bikram yoga, who knows, you know, mugs versus cups, some bullshit. But what you can do is inside of most email platforms, you can allow a person to segment themselves. Please understand segmentation is so key in email marketing, is putting somebody in the right type of like list so that you can now send relevant emails to them. And as I said before, I segment people with a promotion based on where they are in a journey, right? If I know that they like yoga, I have a flow for yoga people because they've opened a yoga email from me once before, so I tag them in that. I'm like, okay, cool. They opened a yoga flow, yoga email. Now I'm going to put them into a yoga flow that tells them about yoga, and then we're going to sell them a yoga product because they've opened it and they've segmented themselves. But you can also do it inside. So you can say, like, you could have a unisex thing, but you want to find who's a man and a woman. Inside your, like, even welcome email, you could be like, hey, just so we can help you and, you know, send you the right type of products, like, what are you? Are you male or female? Then you just click it, segment themselves, it brings them into a list, and bang. Now you can put that list inside of a flow, like only send to these people if they're a male, right? You know, we're going to send them something that's, because a lot of your products, guys, you know, are good for men, some are good for women, and you don't want to send, and also understand the language is totally different when you send it to men versus women. So if you can segment that and have a flow that speaks specifically to a man and a flow that speaks specifically to a woman, it's going to be extremely powerful. The next one is birthday flows, and I heard Chris talk about this in the, I don't know if he talked about it here, but he talks about it definitely in his little live stream. And basically you can create a form inside of your email or on a landing page that allows people to enter their day of birth and then create a birthday flow for them. So how many e-commerce companies, guys, you know that are sending you a birthday like message? Like, happy birthday, here's 50% off. Who gives a shit how much discount you give them on their birthday? You just want to show them love, right? So get creative and think of things that nobody would do and stand out from the crowd. Again, when I said when it comes to branding experience, please, guys, do exactly what your competition would not do. These flows are pretty hard to create, so I'll make bonus videos below, as I said. So, guys, with Facebook audience integration, which is in Klaviyo, and you can start to create custom audiences or custom campaigns using Klaviyo's powerful segmentation. It's powerful to create campaigns for dead leads, so people that haven't purchased from you in X amount of time or never purchased from you, but they're on your list. Flash sales, you can create flash sales and send them to only your customers. Upsells, you can create upsells and create Facebook advertisements like specific things that people have purchased. Again, we could go back to what if somebody bought a pug ring, right? We could put in here, we could create a segment that this person has bought a pug ring. We also have this pug necklace that they would love. So we could create a segment that says, hey, this person has opened our emails within 60 days. We know they're engaged with our brand. They've ordered from us before, and they ordered this pug this bracelet, this pug bracelet, or this pug ring. They've ordered this, but they haven't ordered this. Now we can create that into a segment, and we can actually put it inside of Facebook audiences, and we can create a dynamic audience that will pull those types of people in, and we can send out a campaign to those on Facebook. And it's so powerful, guys, because you need to understand, it's like the Tayo Lopez, right? He's just following you everywhere you go, and you want to do the same with your customers, because some people will respond on Facebook better than one on email. So this is just giving you the opportunity to do that. So there's a banner cast as well, but a lot of you guys are already doing it, and that's fine. Or simply new product releases, right, guys? Based on certain customers' purchases. Again, the same thing. It's just like an upsell, but in this time, it's not timed on a specific one. It could literally just be, look, like Chris said, he gets this new product. He knows crushing it, but you can like target people that have purchased from you, haven't purchased this product yet, and target them on Facebook saying, hey, we just got a brand new product. We think you'll love it. Check this out. So the same strategy that Chris was talking about in his promotion with his, St. Patrick's Day, he could be also taking that segment that he's created to when he's going to send that promotion and throw it on Facebook, sync it as an audience, and bang, start cranking down on Facebook too, and have these integrations pulling people that when they purchase it, it pulls them out, doesn't send it to them anymore. And it's just amazing, guys. It's dynamic. It's so powerful, and it's really good. So I'm going to teach you quickly how to do it. So if you guys jump in and grab Klaviyo, if you already have Klaviyo, this is how you do it. Step one is just to integrate it and then authorize it. You have to be logged into the correct Facebook account that you want these ads to be managed in, and then just select the account. It's pretty simple. So step two is to create the segments. When you're targeting people, it's important to target them in specific parts of the journey, as I've discussed. If you're upselling, don't do it 4 days later because the buying heat has died down, and don't upsell 9 weeks later because it's now almost irrelevant. Also, when you target your customers' promotions, you need to be targeting them based on certain campaigns. Target people who haven't opened, and target people that have only bought certain products. And what I mean by haven't opened is, Chris, if you sent that, that St. Patrick's Day promotion, and you were like, dude, that killed it. We got 25% or 30 or 35, 40% opens. You can create a segment inside of here that's going to say, okay, we created that campaign, and you can actually say, look, we want to now send an email to those who hasn't opened that campaign yet. Boom, send it out again. And I did that specifically in an email, and I made an extra $1,000 from that one email. So I made nearly $2,000 on the first promo, and then sent it to those who hadn't opened that promo yet. And it made an extra $1,000. So we made $3,000 from one promotion just by sending it to those who hadn't opened it yet and taking it a different angle. And it's amazing that you can do this. And again, the same thing with Facebook audiences. You could then send that promotion to those who haven't opened yet, or those who haven't purchased that product yet. And it's super powerful. So using Klaviyo, you can first, before creating a campaign, create a segment. So before you create a promotion, you can create a segment. So when selling a specific product, which I think Chris said, like selling one product worked better, and I found that too, you need to target the customers that will want it, right? So here's an example. If you're selling a coffee cup, you want to say, okay, they've ordered a product at least once, and the product is, and Wake Up and Grind was my coffee. So this is just my master account I do examples on, so I don't want to obviously show products of customers. But then you can target them. Have they opened an email in the last 60 days? No. I actually should have added there, I didn't have a second product, so I just wanted to tell you guys, you would add, have they purchased, and then it would be name, and then it would be the coffee cup, but instead of at least once, it will be 0 times. So now you're sending a promotion or creating a campaign on Facebook that's going to go out to someone, it's going to promote them, and they've opened within 60 days, so they engage with your brand, but they haven't purchased this certain product, but they have purchased something that's super relevant. Targeting someone for a promo that has purchased but hasn't purchased the product you want to sell. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so I was saying now we're selling the coffee, right? So now we're saying here's the product. They've ordered the product 0 times overall time, and the name is the coffee. They've opened 60 times within 60 days, and they've ordered a product from us at least once, so it means they're actually a customer. So they're a customer, but they haven't purchased this specific product. Now we're going to send an email to those guys, because these guys have not opened that. They've not purchased that product yet. So when they actually go through to the page and purchase and go to like purchase a product and do what we want them to do, they're doing something that is so relevant to them. They've not had this product yet, and you're going to get more opens, you're going to get more click-throughs, and you're going to get more purchases in your email sequences because you're purchasing it. I mean, you're targeting them on their specific part of their journey, right? So this is another one. So customers with new products, this is a little bit more detailed how you can go into segments. So someone who has placed an order 0 times, overall time, the item is this, and place an order means started at checkout, right? The other one is if they're not in a list that is suppressed. So suppressed is unsubscribed in this. And what someone has not done is they've placed an order at least once in the last 120 days. So these guys have not purchased from us. Oh, sorry, they have purchased with us within 120 days. And I think these are just different platforms down here. The order product, place products, I think it's from like MailChimp or something like that that these guys did. But as you can see there, you can have really, unique segments. You can target lead generation. So as I was talking about the pop-up, you can actually target people that have been on the pop-up thingy for 2 days, and you can create what we call like a Facebook ad campaign based on these people. So you can create this offer, and you can say, okay, look guys, I'm going to give you $10 off, right, for the next 48 hours. And then when it hits that 2 days, you can say, hey guys, look, your offer expires tonight on Facebook. Could you imagine following them on Facebook saying, hey, do you remember that discount that you signed up for? Hey, you still haven't purchased it yet. So here's a Facebook ad campaign. Just following them around, and we can target them on their lead, on their journey. Again, they've not purchased from us, but we're giving them the opportunity to purchase. We still want to chase them around. We still want to push that purchase. Remember what I said, guys? If they're not purchased from us yet, we need to be quite aggressive with ourselves because we want them to purchase. They want to purchase. We know it's mutually beneficial. So the step 3 after you've created your segments would be now to sync it. So you just go here, you click on the choose audience to sync with, and then what you'll get is this list, and then you update it, and then basically you hit sync, right? So it's going to say these segments, blah, blah, blah. It's going to say that this segment here, and it'll probably have a bunch of other ones if you do a bunch of other ones. And then the next step you want to do, guys, is go create an ad set. So, that was talking about that, the ones that have got 6 or more purchases. So, guys, imagine being able to target on your VIP. Imagine those VIP customers that have purchased more than 4 times or over $200, create a custom audience for them, and then advertising to that custom audience on Facebook. That is your absolute dream audience right there, guys. They have purchased from you. They're relevant. They purchased more than 4 or 5 times. These guys love you, right? Send a broadcast out. Sorry, send a Facebook ad campaign out to those type of people or a custom audience. Or, as we've said there, the customers have purchased a certain product but not purchased another one. Here we could do an upsell, and bang, we can send a list out to them. This is an ad campaign we can run. It's going to be super targeted, and it's going to get you a lot of money back, guys, in ads because it's really targeted. And then the same with that targeting we were doing before. We could do a promo, the product with segmentation. So that was like, had they purchased this but not purchased this, and I'm hoping my internet is still in because my internet dropped. Yeah, I feel like it is. Okay, it is. So yeah, this beautiful. I had something flick on the side of my. It flicked on the side of my page as if like it dropped out. I was like, oh. Anyways, so the product with segmentation. So that'll be the product that you've purchased, but they haven't purchased a specific product. Now we're sending to them. As you can see, it made nearly $2,000, and then bang, send out another promotion to the product, the same promotion above, right? But we're sending another one now. It's just the exact same promotion, just with no opens. So we changed up the subject line, and it wasn't as good. 17.8 and $954. But guys, that's maximizing that campaign, right? And we're targeting them based on certain parts of their journey, and now we're targeting them on even more parts of their journey because they've not opened that email from us yet. So bang, we've got another one right there. I made an extra $1,000 from that email, which was the exact same email. It's just utilizing those that haven't opened yet and seen it. So that was, guys, that's basically segmentation and flows in a nutshell. I hope you guys learned a lot from that, but what I'm going to do is a real quick little bonus for you guys. So this is kind of a little bit of the 4 reasons people buy. Number 1 is ownership, guys. So in emails, you need to get these 4 reasons people buy. You need to do your best to get them in there. So ownership. Try and give these people a sense of ownership, whether it's, like telling them what the experience is like with this product in their life. Make them try and imagine being with this product. If you can do that, like, you'll get people to buy. And then logic. You have to have logic. Does it make sense for this person to buy on the specific part of their journey? If it makes sense and you can get that in there, be like, hey, look, you purchased this, you know, let's say you bought a pair of shoes and now you're upselling them like a spray that's going to protect those shoes. You're like, hey, guys, could you imagine like dropping like coffee on your shoes and like wiping it off with no mess, right? Could you imagine that? Like, you just bought these shoes. So here you go. Look, we're selling you this now. Like, we want you to purchase this because we want your shoes to look good. We want them to stay good forever, and it makes sense to purchase this product. Social proof. Hey, look, this is what so-and-so has purchased. You know, she loves it. She found it amazing. Or, you know, Adidas is recommending this, whatever. Don't use other brands. I'm just trying to say examples. But look, Adidas has recommended this. You know, this is something that you should have in your life. And then urgency and scarcity, you know, we've only got a certain amount of these left, or, you know, the sale ends on the 24th, or blah, 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 blah. If you can get all of those things in there, it doesn't have to be in one email either, guys. It could be in a sequence of emails. That's why Chris uses, you know, multiple emails in promos or flows. But if you get all of these things in that email sequence, it's going to be very profitable. So this is a way to increase your click-through rate. When increasing your click-through rate, it's important to use images, but don't be image heavy. Never go above 50% because it will start to get marked as spam. A lot of people do like these heavy emails, but it's marketing best practice not to do it unless you have a super engaged audience. But until then, don't do it because you'll get marked as spam. Use images, but don't use more than you do text. So GIFs. I love GIFs. And I've got a great GIF designer who designs some beautiful GIFs, and they're really engaging, they're really captivating. And they're amazing. So they can put a lot of messages in here. It's dynamic, it's moving, people get engaged with it. Also, guys, if you're going to put images and GIFs, please use the alt text, because some people's it won't load up, and the alt text needs to be like something even funny, like, you know, cool little GIF of monkey wearing shorts. Give them a reason, right? But if nothing's there, it's going to look crap. So when you create a image, it's going to have the hyperlink and it's going to have alt text. So just type it in there, bang, you're done. And that's marketing best practice again. A PS at the bottom always increases my click-through rate, because highlighting orange or yellow, whatever you want to do, with a call to action, that helps, because some people skim read, but almost everyone reads a PS. So add a cheeky CTA, for example, PS, don't click here and visit our store because you might just buy something, with a winky face, and then hyperlink that entire line and just, you know, highlight it, try it with that highlight, split test, see what your audience responds to. But I promise you guys, if you put a PS in there, it's going to get you quite, you know, don't overuse it, but it's going to help, guys. It's definitely going to help. And digital marketing uses a strategy that asked a question that drove to a landing page and the user had to submit. So it was a multiple choice, and it asked the user to say the best product for the problem. So say if there was like, hey, what is the best, you know, tactical knife for outdoor use, and it would give like 4 different options. They would click one and submit, and it would bring them to a landing page that was saying, actually, no, this is the best one, and you get it for 20% discount. But it was a huge click-through rate because it made the user feel like they was in power, and it made the user feel like it was interactive and it was fun. So it was giving them a little bit of control. And queuing the click. When we talk about queuing the click, it's talking about the pre-frame, right? So first name, so like, Chris, we got a new product. Click here to see what it is. A little bit of curiosity, right? We've not told them what it is yet, but we're allowing them the chance, and we're queuing the click of, hey, we got a new product. So people are like, hey, what is that? Click here to see what it is. The pre-frame was curiosity, and it's cue for the user to want to click it. Or even a simple, we've got a huge discount for 60% for today only, putting money back in your pocket. So yeah, you're basically saving money buying this. Click here to save 66% right now. I agree with Chris on his storytelling method. Much more easier if you're running your own email. I run an agency. It's very hard to make up all these stories for, like, you know, multiple stores every single time. But this is just an example. You could do the same thing. If Chris was telling a story on how he's going down the street and he was drinking a beer, right? And he spilled that beer on his shoes, he could be like, oh, damn, you know, I spilled beer on my shoes, but I remembered I'd used this spray, and, like, you know, it was dope, but it saved my shoes. And luckily, we've actually got this spray for like 66% off right now. Click here to buy it, right? It's just queuing that click. And the click queued was more direct benefit, but you get the point, right? And lastly, guys, we talk about how many times to add the hyperlink. Please aim for at least 4 hyperlinks in or roads back to your offer. One at the top, preferably a curiosity click, and then one in the middle, a few images, and a final one is the PS. So try and get it top middle, bottom. Always have a hyperlink or even a subtle little call to action, something that will allow somebody to head back to your page, because sometimes, like, it needs to be always in their face, an ability to click it, right? You always need to give them something. So try and be subtle about it sometimes. You don't always have to be subtle, you can be direct, but don't promote all of them like hella, like, yo, buy right now, or do something like that. So people just need to be reminded constantly to click or do something. But that's all from me, guys. I'm sure you got some great info from that, and you need to take a few days to digest it. But once it digests, you'll be full of great ideas to utilize your automated flows. As for Klaviyo, Chris will add a link below. I'm pretty sure he's going to add it on the page or something like that to sign up. It's going to be www.e2.agency/Klaviyo. When you land on the page, you'll hit a button, sign up for Klaviyo, and just click that. It's nice and easy, guys. That page is actually in development at the moment because I'm having the website built, but it'll be done within the next 48 to, well, you know what developers are like. Let's say 5 days, but whatever. If anybody wants that link, you're more than happy to add me on Facebook. It's Jason K. Williamson. I'll send the link directly to you guys. And thanks for listening.
Give me the link again, the one that the real Klaviyo one, because it was not up, and I'll post it in the group. Can you hear me, guys? Okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Perfect.
Guys, first of all, we're going to answer questions here, but I want to just make it, if you haven't signed up for Klaviyo, Klaviyo is what we recommend. I use Klaviyo, then I went to MailChimp. I'm going back to Klaviyo because it's so much better. I don't know why I experimented with MailChimp. It was stupid. I made a mistake. Anyway, it happens. You live and you learn. But anyway, Klaviyo is by far the best, guys. It's a little more expensive than some of the other ones, but it's by far, I mean, it is.
But if you're doing it right, Chris, like, the money does not. Like, you're doing it right, hey. If you're using all of this, the money that you're paying for Klaviyo, you'll be like, whatever, it's fine. I love it.
Yeah. Exactly, which is why I'm going back to it, and which is why I use it in the first place. But anyway, guys, what I want to do is implore you to, if you haven't signed up for Klaviyo, or if you're watching this as part of the beta group, or later on, please use Jason's link to sign up for Klaviyo. It will not affect how much you pay. You're paid the exact same amount with Klaviyo. The only difference is he's going to get some commissions. Jason has done this as a volunteer. He's helped us out. He's provided a lot of value. He's going to provide some other bonus videos. And this is a way to reward Jason for this. So give me the pure link, because this one's not up, and I'll go ahead and post it in the group. If you're watching this in the future on the launch, please use his link, e2.agency/Klaviyo. Use Jason's link. I really would like him to get rewarded for all of his efforts.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. I really do. Like Chris said. And also, guys, if I'm a little bit of a bonus for you guys as well, and this is a huge bonus, but if anybody jumps on there and they have a list of over 50,000 people ready to go, you're more than welcome to send me an email on e2.agency, or just contact me on Facebook, and my account manager will be happily copy every one of those flows that I have there over to your account as well. So if you have over 50,000 people in your list and you sign up with my link, I'll copy all those flows over to you, which is worth, I think I paid nearly $7,000 to have all those flows designed and created, and not to mention the time that I spent on it. So, guys, that's a massive bonus for you as well.
Guys, again, some people are asking about some stuff like other email marketing services. I'm not going to say them because I don't want to promote them. I don't, because, guys, I have tested out different ones here and there because, you know, I like to test, and this is something I get distracted by bells and whistles. It's just the way I am. But anyway, guys, think about this. I used to use Klaviyo. I used them for a long time, got good results. I tested out some other ones, and now I'm going back to Klaviyo. What does that tell you? So, guys, Klaviyo, yeah, okay, true, it's a little more expensive than the other ones, but because of all the power it can do, it can produce a lot more revenue, and it's just so much better. The inbox rate is better than most suppliers. They use a lot of different IPs to mail from and servers. So, guys, just trust us on this. Klaviyo is the way to go. It really is. You can get the flows if you have a big list. If you don't have a big list, you're going to have to create them yourself. I mean, it's not fair for Jason to have to give away the flows if you don't have a big list.
Yeah, they cost me a fortune to design. So, like, the reward will be if you have a decent list. I will definitely get my guys to copy them over for you. And it's very simple. My guy literally will copy and paste them into you. You'll just have to go through, rebrand them. But if you have a small list, I'm sorry, guys, but you're going to have to build yourself up there. And then once you're there, hit me up and I'll help you out. What's the other
Okay.
questions, Chris?
So I'll answer any questions. We'll go for 5 more minutes answering questions.
I have a question for everyone. Did anyone get any value out of that?
I did. I'm telling you guys, I've been in this game now for a long time, and there was stuff in there that I never even heard of.
That's dope. I'm glad, man.
Guys, I've been in this market for a long, long time, and that was incredible. Any questions? Everyone's complimentary. Okay, guys, I'm going to take over the screen here for a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to give it back to you.
I think I can take it over. Here we go. Actually, you know what? Just if you go to Facebook and go to my wall, that'd be great. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Done. Hold up.
Guys, as usual, I mean, we're delivering a lot of value in this course, and I really want to build up the momentum and the interest. So if you could comment on the post I just made about how the email, I mean, I would really seriously greatly appreciate this. I mean, social proof in promoting this course is massively important, and so if you could go comment on that, that would be awesome.